I have a beautiful gift in a package I want to share with you about food and about our relationship to food and how we feed ourselves. And it came about, I just got to get this out, so I'm just going to ramble and I'll come around. It should make sense at the end. But I want you to take away whatever you're supposed to take away, but it really could be a helpful little nugget for how you feed yourself, how you take care of your body, how you see your relationship to self-care, self-love, acceptance, the boundaries you have with overeating or binging and all of that kind of stuff. So this morning I took some fresh strawberries out of my refrigerator and I washed them, and I was, cutting off the gross parts because they were, I don't know how many days old, but they were old enough where I wouldn't probably eat them after a couple more days. And there was just about 4, maybe 5 strawberries left. And it dawned on me that years ago, I used to go out and I would buy all kinds of food, fresh vegetables, fresh strawberries, fresh berries, whatever, farmer's market, and I would bring them home and they would end up staying in my refrigerator. And they would rot and they would go bad and I wouldn't cook them. And I can't tell you how many clients I have met with over the years who have said the same thing. I go out and I buy all this food and then I buy organic and it's expensive and then I don't cook it. It stays in my refrigerator. And so I think this is an important issue to address, don't you think? So I know why. I found this beautiful pivot point in my life where I started to turn this corner. It's really about our 3 specific things: self-esteem, trust, and it has a lot to do with our self-worth in relationship to how we use our time. So this is like probably a course that I might teach. Actually, it is a course. It's part of my Lila program, Lyla. It stands for Love Your Life Academy. So it is part of a course actually, but I mean, I could spend days, like a weekend, teaching you this. So I'm just going to give you a couple little nuggets here that I hope you can take away from that can be really beneficial, because this isn't just about wasting money in the refrigerator, with the food that we let go to waste. This is about something much deeper, because when we have a sense of worth and self-respect, and we hold personal boundaries for ourselves, as an example, I need to consume a certain amount of vegetables every single day because it is fuel for me and I feel better when I do it. That's a boundary that we can hold for ourselves. If we don't hold that boundary, then often we feel crappy, because when we are what we eat. When we eat crappy food, we ultimately feel crappy. The difference here, though, has a lot to do with this self-worth. Am I worthy of eating vegetables? Now, this may seem completely silly. There's a lot of truth in this. If we don't feel worthy of eating those strawberries, because what I used to do, I don't know about you, I actually used to save them. This is kind of embarrassing to think about now, but whatever. I used to save them because I wanted to make sure I had them on a special occasion. And it wasn't even completely conscious that I was doing this. I started to notice it later. But I would buy the food, but I didn't feel worthy enough to actually eat it or consume it. So I never would eat it, and then it would go bad. And then it would just further instill the story that I had, is that I'm not worthy, and there'd be shame and guilt because I spent money and then I didn't take care of myself and I let all the food go to waste. Another issue that I often see is that we tell ourselves we don't have enough time. And I used to say this to myself a lot. I talk about this a lot in the programs that people do with me as a coach and as a practitioner, because your relationship with time has everything to do with you saying, I am worthy to take time for myself. And so, I think of social media. You've heard this example probably, but how much time do we spend on social media every single day? It's become an addictive thing, even for many, myself included. So I have processes in my life to make sure that I don't spend a lot of time on social media, because you just feel sucked into it. That could take anywhere from an hour to 3 hours out of someone's day. And so when we say we don't have time, it's really about how are you choosing to spend your time and what are your priorities. So if your priority becomes, I want to feel good, and I know that food in that refrigerator, the time it takes to chop it up, the time it takes to steam it or saute it or cook it, the time it takes to sit down and eat it or to prepare it for the next day or the days in advance, that is a sense of I am worthy to receive this. And so this is, again, deep concept for many, but I want you to start to understand that you are absolutely worthy of receiving the best of everything you can imagine in your life. And it's not about a money thing, like I got to go out and buy, Prada shoes, and although those are fun, right? But this isn't about that. This is that you can receive and that you can use the things now. You can use it now. So the disconnect many of us have in our refrigerator of why am I not enjoying all this yummy food, or why do I buy stuff and I don't cook it, or why is it that I'm not spending more time to cook the foods that I'd like to, because we do know better, right? But it's really about, I am worthy to take this time and fully receive it. And that is a place of empowerment and self-esteem that is a beautiful gift. Not always easy, no, but very powerful when we begin to step into it. So have a beautiful day, mindfully eat your food, take some time with it, look in that refrigerator and discard anything that's gross. Seriously, just get rid of it, it's in the past, and clean it out and start fresh and bring in the good. Abundance mindset. Namaste. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.